But I said today we're talking about being in our own way. So let's go live and talk about it. The kids are back in school. So back to our normal schedule, our normal program. And I don't know about y'all, but I definitely overslept the first day. I was exhausted from the weekend and just tired. This is that season when we're talking about colder winter months, lower vitamin D levels, and I'm anemic and y'all a whole lot of other things. So I was just tired. But got the kids going back to school and we're back on our routine now. And it's just a beautiful day. And I said, let me go live and just talk about being in your own way. I think a lot of times in life we search for the blocks, right? The obstacles in people, places, things, and we don't really take a look at ourselves and say, what about myself could be blocking my next step, could be blocking the way forward. So sometimes stop looking outside of you for answers and turn within. And I can definitely say that that's one thing I have definitely become a true firm believer in is turning inward, and especially moments that you feel like are those pivot moments. You want to talk to friends, family, of course lean on faith more. But I always say, do you ever take a moment to turn inward? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? What about me now is leading to my next step? What about me now have me at my current location? So know how to become self-aware along this journey of life. I'm learning each step is it doesn't get easier or change in its value. If anything, it becomes more important. Each step that I take, in life, I've learned I have to understand myself. I have to be able to be real with myself. What am I feeling? What am I needing? What can I take away? What can I add to myself? And thank y'all for the like. Y'all just let me know if y'all feel me. If you really understand the importance as you live. The more you live, the more you learn. And I'm telling y'all the importance of self happiness, the importance of being able to turn inward for the answers, to be able to assess your own needs, to be able to fulfill your own needs is very important. Because remember, joy and happiness is not really created outside of you. Remember, we're looking for answers in people, places, and things, even answer to the things that go wrong, the answer to the things go right. Everything we need confirmation, external confirmation. But I'm just telling you, you have to really be in tune with what you're feeling at the moment. And I say, you know what? You may be in your own way. Negative self talk, doubt, fear, having obstacles, and instead of needing to hurdle over them, you rather go around them or just turn around altogether. So through those moments of grace, through those growing pains, is such a beautiful lesson in growth. I'm telling y'all, I always talk about the two L's. You got your loss and you got your lesson. Your lesson is when you walk away from something with more knowledge. You really walk away stronger than you even think if you take the lesson that that moment taught you. There's so much beauty and growth and knowledge. The more you know, the less. Remember, they talk about the wool over your eyes. How can somebody fool you if you already really know the truth? How can somebody fool you in what love is if you know what love is? How can somebody fool you if you know? And I always say you don't have to know everything, but you got to know where to get the answer, though. And I always tell that to my kids too, because that's the principle that I live by. And I remember as I was nursing in the hospital, I always would tell my patients, like, this is my name. And if you need me, I may not have all the answers, but trust and believe your nurse can get you the right answer, though. So it's not that I am all knowing, but trust that I can get you the answer that you're needing. So that's the kind of thought behind that saying. It's not that we have to know everything as women, or if you're a man watching this. Life is not about knowing everything. There is no way for us to know everything. And y'all know now we're almost in competition with the AI knowing everything. So we know we're not going to be able to remember everything. We're not a robot. We're not a computer. So we have to be able to decipher the things that matter in our life and where they fall along the hierarchy of what we need to do and our needs and our kids need, our family. And then we got to know where things are being brought upon us by our own actions or lack of actions. So accountability is so important in life. Have y'all ever, and this is where I want y'all to let me know, hit the like button if you know someone that will not take accountability for their actions. Like in no way, shape, form are they wrong. In no way, shape, form are in any way that they have room to grow in a sense. And when you have people like that, how can you take on something new if your cup is totally full and you know everything? So you have to have that kind of valleys where we can feel those areas. And that's a part of life. We don't know everything, but being at a point where you're not teachable, being at a point where you don't go try to find the answer to something. Now that's where the problem lies. And I always say we're either that negative self-talk, or being addicted to your distractions. Now that can be people, places, or things. Now, being on social media when, let's say, you should be getting the dinner ready or prep for the kids or your spouse when they come home, that's all about priorities and how we balance our day or how we plan for our day. You may say, Tan, well, I work a 9 to 5 job. I'm not home until later on. So balance and plan for that next day. And it's okay sometimes to take it day by day. I always say that don't rush yourself to feel like you need to make a 7 day planner. You may say, you know what, I'm only planning Monday through Friday. I work during the weeks. I need to have my meals laid out. The children have practice. I'm a single mom or my spouse is military. Remember, we have so many reasons as women and mom in general that we have to consider a lot of factors. There's a lot of things that we have to consider in our day-to-day lives that affect how we plan the day. And it's okay to be day by day. So don't feel the crunch to have to plan too far out. Take it day by day, a couple of days. Start your calendar and plotting those things that you have coming up. So that's your children's practice, if that's your reading time. And you know what, y'all? That's another quick fact that came through. It was on my heart anyway to be able to share with you all is we have so many priorities in a day that we have to fit into our schedule. And of course, our children is at the top of that list, our spouse. So I say be the intentional planner of the intentional 20. Intentional 20 minutes a day where you set undivided attention and time aside for your child or your children. 20 minutes out of a whole 24-hour day. And yes, we're going to consider sleep and work, but 20 minutes is not a lot. But let me tell you the impact of that 20 minutes on your child when they say, oh my God, mom is sitting, on my bed. She's listening to me. Mom is playing cards with me. Mom is doing my reading with me. 20 minutes a day. And consider this too, y'all, because this is the cold hard truth. We'll sit and scroll online and we'll look and say, oh my God, 2 hours done went by. An hour done went by. And you don't have to agree in the comments and out yourself, but you know it. Remember, it's in your heart. It's understanding and accepting that we have more control over our day and our time than we think if we only be intentional about the time and what we're doing during it. So set aside 20 minutes a day to your children and let that time be for anything that they want to do. Fill it with what they need to do. So that's reviewing their homework with them, going behind them, double checking, asking, do they have any questions? Simply asking, how was your day? Never forget, just that simple open door interaction too can open up the door for more to come through than we even probably thought. How was your day? And then I love, this is my follow-up. So I'm giving y'all all my tips and tricks today, y'all. So after I say, how was your day, Tiana, if it's my oldest daughter? And the quick response, y'all know, is good, fine. And I follow right back up with, well, what was good about your day? What was fine about your day? So it forces them to think about their day and to really understand what they enjoyed about school. And it opens a doorway for us to be able to communicate about what they liked about it and then what they didn't like. And that's okay too. Because what they say, we listen, we do not judge. We listen and we steer them in the direction they need to go because remember, we're their protector, their provider, we're their guardian, we're their everything, their example. So remember to open those doorways for our kids and our spouse too. Communication is universal, y'all. Everybody need it. Good, healthy communication. That's with your spouse, your significant other, with your children, co-workers, come on, siblings, the list goes on. Healthy communication. It's the doorway forward. Language is there to be able to understand. And I always say we listen with intention. We have two ears, one mouth. We need to be able to listen and really take in what we're hearing. And then we need to be able to articulate our response. But listening is so important. So I always say with my kids, I let them say what they need to say in its entirety without interjecting. So we have to also, as parents, remember to work on our listening skills, our attention span. Because in the world, y'all know stuff be moving fast paced. Sometimes we want our kids to talk and walk, say things on the go, get it out quick. But what I realized that remember, each child is different. Their pace is different. I have one that talks super fast, like, Mom, you won't believe what happened today. And then this is that, and then this is that. And then I have one that say, well, today, I don't know, and they may want a little bit more encouragement to even get out their thought. So remember that each child is different, and relationship, back to that, if your spouse, the way they communicate, you understanding their style, their pace of communication, you have to be able to adjust. And yes, when we are a mom or a wife and we have multiple personalities and we have to really be in tune with each individual need. It is so important to be in tune. So to be in tune, I mean your frequency have to be able to pick up the differences, right? So it's so important for us to be balanced and be in control of what we can. Remember, setting the tone and controlling the narrative. And y'all, I'm gonna look in the comments. Let me see. Let me catch up. I appreciate y'all being on live. When I tell y'all, it's really a calling. Like certain things, certain messages, I really have to come on and share it. I always say life is different for each eye that's living it, each footstep that's walking it, right? Yours is different from mine. But what I can tell you is they're not that far off. There is someone somewhere that understand and can relate. A lot of times we're not reinventing the wheel, even though that emotion that come from different life experiences can feel like, man, this is something that's new to me. And trust me, someone there can sympathize, empathize with you. We can feel it. And in the message, can we have that growth? Remember, a lot of growth happen outside of our comfort zones. So taking our pain, if y'all have been following me with y'all, I hope y'all have. Y'all know I just released my book, Pain, Passion, and Purpose. So it is so important in life to be able to transmute pain and let it fuel purpose. And passion sometimes is built and birthed out of those moments. So being able to see the silver lining, to be able to see the way forward, or at least be able to coach ourselves through it, right? So I dived a lot into my family history, the things, childhood experiences and stories that I really wanted to share with y'all that I felt like were pivot moments in my life. Pivot moments that to this day, here I am years and years later, still recalling as my story, as an emotion that I remember feeling. And in that, remember I told you sometimes those moments of growth, and it may be growing pains, some lessons, those L's, remember that with that loss, or is it the L? And you want to walk away with the lesson as an L and not the loss. So I mean, remember, even if it made you a better person, even if it hurt, but it made you a better person, it made your vision clearer. That's still a lesson. So you're walking away with the win. I'm walking away with the win. Like that's when you see people walk away from a defeat with their chin up because they say I lost, but this now it gave me an area that I now know that I need to get in that gym and train harder in. So I'm telling you, I look at life as onward and upward. It's only a loss if you didn't learn that lesson. Say, what was this meant to teach me? What was this hurt meant to teach me? Not why did this happen to me? Why me? No, say why me? What was the lesson in that? I learned this. I'm going to move forward and not make the same mistake. A lot of times mistakes become those repetitive mistakes that are sometimes life altering. And I love to relate that back to our decision to have our children and who we're having children with. And a lot of y'all, including myself, can say, dang, am I the same woman I am at 25, at 35, 45? We're not the same. Sometimes we like different things. So know what season you're in and your picking season. So if your picking season is you're a full-time student, your picking season is you're okay, we're not distracting the message, y'all. Let me cook. So we're in a season of our life that we're selecting our spouse. Our options of fruit during that season is gonna be different. So we intentional about your picking season because every season you're gonna get a new fruit that's at its best, it's the most sweet, it's the most ripe. So just be intentional about how we're moving as women and men. We're in control of our spouse selection. We're in control of who we're having children with. So it's very important to move with intention. We have more control of our lives. Let's have these conversations with our children sooner. Let's have these conversations with our potential spouse sooner in dating. Let's not wait. You can talk with confidence on subjects that you know about. I can sit here and talk about the things that I want in a spouse because I know what I want for myself. I know what I want. So knowing what you want is the first step, y'all. We cooking, so I'm getting all kind of messages. But I appreciate y'all that are still on with me and that's following me. But we set the tone and we control the narrative of our lives. Let's be intentional. Let's pick in the season where the fruit is most sweet, it's most ripe, it's ready. We're ready. Choose that season of your life. And if it's in seasons where we're now planting, we need to water the soil so that we can pull and reap what we sow a little bit later. Be okay with waiting for that harvest. Be okay with looking at that and say, you know what, this is not the season for this. It's not the best one. I'm going to wait. But which one in this season actually is best for me? Be okay with that. Be okay with not having that right now. Be okay with saying, you know what, nah, this not the right. Know how to pick it too. Remember when we go searching in the supermarket for our vegetables and fruits, we got to know how to choose the best option. In life, when we are dating, we have to learn how to choose the best option. Now, the qualities that we're looking for in a potential spouse or significant other is different from person to person. Now, that's a whole nother video, okay, that we'll definitely get into later. But right now, it's just the importance of being intentional about what we're choosing to allow into our energy, into our space, into our life. And be okay. It's okay to let things out. So something may have got in, it may have weaseled its way in, or it may be a wrong option. Be okay with releasing. I was just giving this story the other day, this example. If you are in the supermarket, no, if you're cooking, this is the one I said. If you're cooking and you touch the stove and it's hot, you immediately, out of reflex, you're going to withdraw your hand, you're going to pull back. And now your brain now registered that pain and that burn with the touch of the stove. So now you know that stove is hot. We're not going to touch that. So why in life do we keep touching things that hurt us, that burn us, that doesn't yield what we want it to yield? Why keep choosing pain? And I say selective pain. Remember, we pull back because that's the autonomic system that's going to automatically withdraw from the source that hurt us. We have to activate that autonomic system in us that's going to say that hurt. And it hurt in a way that shouldn't hurt. Knowing that we're chasing what feels good and not what feels bad. What Glow said. What Glow say, y'all? I'm not searching for nothing that's not searching for me. What I look like looking for something that's not looking for me. Chasing something that's hurting me. Stop doing the action to yield the thing that you don't want and do more of what do. And that goes back down to accountability. It's easy to do what is easy. That hurt. I don't want to move on. I don't want to find someone new. But matter of fact, I don't want to heal. I don't want to take the season off. I don't want to go in and make sure this soil is properly maintained. So when I plant these seeds and water them and pray and meditate through the season, I come back, I'm going to have a harvest to create a feast for myself. Be okay with your waiting season. Be okay with being intentional about the seeds that we plant. Be okay with the fruit and vegetable that we harvest, saying that it's best for us right now. It's at its most sweet, it's most ripe. Be okay with selecting with intention. And when you don't know, be okay with being still. Remember, we turn inward for the message. We got to get used to turning inward. And silence is a message. There's a message in silence because you get to feel. Have you ever heard music and it's so loud you can feel the vibration of it? You can feel the music if you close your eyes. If you hum, you can feel the vibration of the humming. Sometimes in silence, you can feel the direction, you can feel the way forward. Learn to be okay. Learn to drive sometime and not have the music going. The phone, the Bluetooth should be connected to a speaker. We're driving, right, y'all? But be okay with driving in silence. Be okay with cooking or cleaning in silence. Sometimes you got to be able to learn to decipher your voice from somebody else's and the good versus the evil voice. Okay, what's right, what's wrong? Is this telling me the right way to go? Is this telling me the wrong way to go? Which voice? Know how to decipher the voices in your head, because the only one that really matter at the end of the day is your own. What you're telling you matters more than what he or she or they or any of them are saying or even saying to you directly. The only voice that truly matters is the one that you hear to yourself, the words that you speak to yourself. How can you be nicer to someone else and not even as nice to you? How can you give somebody else second chances, second, third, fourth, fifth chances, but won't give yourself grace? Give yourself grace too. Sometimes we can pour so much out of us, but we don't know how to replenish at the same rate. And that's simple math. If you're taking out of that account more than you put into the account, you're reaching the balance of zero or negative very soon. You got to balance the rate at which we're moving forward in a lot of different areas. Be in tune with what's going on. Be able to test the temperature of things. Be able to say, hey, you know what? I don't know what's going on right now, so I'm not going to do anything. Be okay with being in the season of waiting, being okay with a season of not having. Be okay with a season of not giving either. And that's going to be a whole nother video, because with the holidays coming up, y'all, this economy, we know it's not right now. A lot of people are going through a lot. Life is lifing. So don't feel the pressure to go out and have that tree packed from the back to the front door. Don't feel the need to do that. Your kids the day before Thanksgiving Eve, I mean, not Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, your kids had everything they wanted and needed. So don't feel the pressure of going out and racking up debt and credit and going out to have a lot of things that you don't need. Let's teach our kids the true meaning of Christmas if we really know the meaning of Christmas. So don't go out and feel the pressure of the world, of what people think and what people say. Do your children have what they need? Do they understand the value of mom or dad, or mom and dad being able to provide what they need? The beauty in that. So it's just so much to life. The more you live, the more you learn. When you know better, you do better. Don't feel the need to overspend. Don't feel the need to keep up. Don't feel the need just because. But y'all, that's my message. I am absolutely coming on live more and more, and I just appreciate y'all that have hit the like button. I absolutely love the love and support, and when you see that, it just makes the energy and the fire burn and make me want to cook. I'm telling you, it really helped me get to the message. But I appreciate y'all for being on the live with me, and we'll definitely be going live tomorrow morning as well for the message of the day, because y'all, like I said, there's a way forward. Where there's a will, there's a way. So we're going to find it and we're going to walk it down together. Take care. Until next time. Bye, y'all.